Hello and welcome to the first online maths lesson from the Academy. And today we're going to be looking at algebra. Specifically, we're going to be looking at simplifying an expression or collecting like terms, substitution numbers for symbols or letters, and we're going to begin to start to look at how we can expand brackets. So on the screen you can see there's two pipes of lengths 5a and 3a, and they're joined together. So we've got a 5a and a 3a. Because they both contain the same letter, we can put them together. So the total length becomes 8a's. Because they contain the same letter, they are classed as like terms. Here are some more for you to have a look at. 6x plus 4x for the first one. Because they both contain the letter x, we can put them together. Can you give those three a go by yourself? So pause the video for 30 seconds and give those a try, please. Sometimes they don't always contain the same letters. So as you can see here, we've got a necklace which is made from two kinds of beads. A will be blue and B will be the pink. We've got 4 blue one end, 3 pink in the middle, another 4 at the other end. So the total length will be 4a plus 3b plus 4a. Because we can't put the a's and the b's together, we have to separate them. So it becomes 8a plus 3b. So we put the two 4a's together and we keep the 3b separate by itself. A and B are unlike terms, so they cannot be combined together. Here's some more to have a look at. So for the top one, we've got a 3x, 2y, 3x. If we put that together, that means we've got two 3x's, which equals 6x plus 2y. Can you try the bottom ones for yourselves? So for the bottom one, you should have 2x add 3y add 2x add 3y. The x's can go together and the y's can go together. Therefore, we have 4x add 6y as the total length. So how do we simplify this expression? This time we've got 5x add 4y add 2x, take away 3x, add y. So if a letter is by itself, it means there is only one of them there. So this time we've got 4y, add 1y. That becomes 5y. We then have 5x, add 2x, take away 3x. So we can put all the x's together. So 5x add 2x equals 7x. But we then need to subtract the 3x. So 5x add 2x take away 3x equals 4x. We then combine it with the y's, which we worked out earlier, which means in total you have 4x add 5y. Can you pause the video for 6 minutes? And can you give these a try? Remember to send all your work into the Edge Academy and we will mark it and send it back to you. So pause the video for 6 minutes and give these ones a try. Okay, so on this one, we've got questions 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is what we've just done. Then on questions 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, it's slightly different. There is a times in the middle. Now in algebra, we don't use times. We put them together and get rid of the times. So for the first one, 9 times a would equal just 9a. Question 7 is very similar. However, for question 8, we got g times h. So the way we'd do that one, we would get rid of the times in the middle and it would be just gh. Finally, for question 9, you got 9 times j times j times j. If you do a letter times a letter times a letter, it becomes j, then j squared, then j cubed. So for this one, we've got 9j cubed. Can you give questions 10 a go by yourselves? Okay, 20 seconds to work that one out. Okay, the answer is 12p squared q. How we get that? We have p and times p. They are like terms, so they can go together. That becomes p squared. Q is by itself, but it's still times, so we get rid of the times and put it at the end. So we've got p squared times q, and we've got 6 times 2, which equals 12. So the answer to that one would be 12 p squared q. Here's some more for you to have a go by yourself. So freeze the screen again for 4 minutes and give these a go, please. Okay, next we moved on to substitution. So you'd have heard this word somewhere else before. You might not have heard it in maths, but you will have heard it somewhere. Usually most people hear it around sport. So the meaning of substitution in sport is that you swap one player for a different player. So one comes off, one goes back on. So how does this work in maths? It means that you replace a letter with a number. So remember, a number and a letter next to each other means they are multiplying each other. For example, 3a means 3 times a. Okay, so I'm going to give you some examples. If a equals 3, find the value of y when y equals 5a plus 4. So replace a with 3, remembering that 5a means 5 times a. So that becomes 5 times 3, add 4. Next, we need to calculate the value of y. So remember, we always do brackets first. So 5 times 3 equals 15. Add 4 equals 19. Therefore, y equals 19. Can you give those 5 a go? The tricky one will be e, where it's e squared. Remember, if something's squared, it means times by itself. So for e, it would be 7 times 7, take away 10. So can you give those a try? Pause the screen for 4 or 5 minutes and give those a try. Remember to include all workings out, as this will get you extra marks when you come to the GCSE exams. Okay, well done you guys. Okay, here's a different way that it can be wrote down. So you now own a cafe. In your cafe, you sell black coffee, tea, hot chocolate, soup, latte, cappuccino. Now, as the owner, you use the formula, the price equals the cost it costs you plus the profit. you want to make 50 pence profit on every drink that you sell. So, for example, if I was to sell a black coffee, it would be 20 pence plus the 50 pence, and that would be the price that I would sell it. So 20 pence and 50 pence equals 70 pence. Can you give that worksheet a go? Okay, the next way you can show substitution is into formulas for perimeter. So the formula used to find the perimeter rectangle with lengths L and W is 2L add 2W. What is the length of a rectangle with a perimeter of 20 centimeters and a width of 4 centimeters? So this is just a simple substitution where you've got 2 times L, which is 20, add 2 times 4, which is 8. So 2 20s equal 40, add your 2 4s equals 8, that equals 48. Can you give that one a try? Remember to include workings out. The formula is there, you just need to substitute in. You might need to rearrange the formula for this one. Can you give that one a try? So 2 times the length times the width, add 2 times the length times the height, add 2 times the height times the width. Well done, you guys. So, the last thing I want you to do on substitution, here are what the values are. So for the blue box, it would be A equals 2, B equals 3, and C equals 4. Can you find the value of D in each equation? So 2C's equals A plus B plus D. So if you know that 2 times C equals 8, then you've got A equals 2, B equals 3, which equals 5. What is D going to be if A and B add up to 5, and it in total needs to add up to 8? What will the total be? If you start off with the blue, if you're finding those easier, work your way up into the yellow and the purple being the hardest ones. Remember to send all your work into the Edge Academy for the work challenge. And finally, what we're going to do is expanding brackets. So brackets are always what you complete first. That's why you have BODMAS. However, in algebra, brackets are slightly different, as you sometimes need to work them out. So expanding brackets is often called multiplying out brackets because we use multiplication to get rid of the brackets. To expand a bracket, multiply the term outside the bracket by everything inside the bracket. There's 2 methods you can use. The first is the arrow method. So 5 times A equals 5A. 5 times 3 equals 15. And it still remains positive, so it's plus 15. Can you please use the arrow method to work out what those 2 are? So pause the screen for a minute and work out what those ones are, please. Nextly, can you try these ones? So the tricky ones on this one is F and G. Remember, an N times an N, so a letter times a letter becomes the letter squared. So N times N would become N squared. The same would go for G. So can you work those ones out, please, on your sheet of paper or your book? And remember to include your workings out with the arrows. Okay, can you mark those ones yourself? Give yourself a pat on the back if you got them right. Well done. Next, I'm going to show you a different method using a table. So everything on the outside of the bracket goes down underneath the times. Everything on the inside of the bracket goes at the top. Now we've got 5 times a, which equals 5a. Then 5 times 7, which equals 35, and you put the positive back in, so it's add 35. Can you try that one, please, in your books? Okay, I'm going to talk you through this one as well. So 3 times a would be 3a. 3 times 8 would be 24. The next table along will look like that. And now we've got 7 times a, which equals 7a, and 7 times 9, which equals 63. That gives us a total of 3a, add 24, add 7a, add 63. Using our collecting like terms, the a's can go together. So 3a add 7a equals 10a. 24 add 63 equals 87. So putting it all together, it becomes 10a plus 87. This is how we use algebra. So putting the collecting like terms with brackets. Here's another example for you to look at. So we've got 7 times b, which is 7b, 7 times 7, which is 49 for the first bracket. For the second bracket, we've got minus 3 times b, which equals minus 3b, minus 3 times minus 6. Now, a minus times a minus always becomes a positive number. So you've got 7b, add 49, take away 3b, add 18. So we put the b's together, so 7b, take away 3b, which equals 4b, then 49, add 18, which equals 67. So in total, we have 4b add 67. One more example. This time we've got a squared, so y times y equals y squared. Y times 7 equals 7y. For the first bracket, for the second bracket, we've got 2y times 4y, which equals 8y squared. And for the second one, we've got 2y times 9, which equals 18y. Again, we can put all this together. So we've got 1y squared plus 8y squared, so that would be 9y squared. Then 7y add 18y, which equals 25y. Now we can expand double brackets. So one bracket goes there, one bracket goes across using the table method. So n times n would become n squared. N times 7 equals 7n. 4 times n equals 4n. And 4 times 7 equals 28. Again, we can put all of this together by collecting like terms. So n squared is by itself, add 11n, add 28. Can you try that one for yourselves, please? So give yourself a few minutes. Once you've done that one, can you try the next one? There's the box and the table that you need. And there it is, all put together. Okay, can you try those ones in your book for yourselves, please? So pause the screen for 5-10 minutes and give those ones a try. Now the bottom one, number 8, if you didn't get the right answer, that would be 3h take away 12 times, in the brackets, 3h take away 12 again, so it's squared, and the same for question 7. So if you did make any mistakes, please ask the Edge Academy if you need any help with anything. My email address is calum.hill@theedgeacademy.co.uk. So if you're struggling with anything at all on this presentation, please just email me and I'll try my best to explain it to you. Can you please try these ones for yourselves? And this will be the end of the lesson. So can you try these ones in your book or your sheet of paper? Can you send all your work into the Edge Academy for the work challenge? And I will mark it and get back to you with feedback. If you need any help with anything, please don't hesitate to email me. Again, it's calum.hill@theedgeacademy.co.uk. Thank you for the time you've taken to try the maths. I hope you've enjoyed it and I can't wait to see you all again soon.